Good evening. Another Tuesday night, another hour or so of going through our trading setups and training. I hope you're enjoying the journey so far. I know a lot of you have been in the academy now for a while. If you're watching this back on like replay, you know, I hope you're enjoying it, because the skill is hard to master. Let's not get that wrong. It is difficult to absolutely master, but the difficulty in mastering it is all to prove your worthiness. You know, if you can stick it out and you can conquer your mind, then when you have the skill down, it will give you so much back. Honestly, whatever you want from it, you'll achieve. Yeah, Rex, I've just seen your comment. The patience, for me, honestly, I'm quite impulsive. I'm quite quick to decide on things, and yeah, the patience, hey, we had a trade, really tested me, and it still tests me today. You know, waiting for that PMI to be above 40. We're going to go through all of the strategy tonight, but waiting for it all to be perfect. You know, and hitting all the criteria. You know, that's where I went wrong in the early days quite often. So patience, there's lots and lots of attributes that need to come out in you or be developed in you to enable you to execute the strategy properly. And that's why the mindset thing is so important. So once you've got the strategy, practice the technique, which I'm going to go through with everyone tonight, and the rest is then down to what you do with your decisions or mindset. So the reason I keep talking about these 100 goals, I know I've seen the comments in the group today that a lot of you are getting through them. It's really hard. It's really hard having 100 goals that, you know, once you get like 10 are easy, knock out 10, no problem. But after a while, you start to think like, all right, I'll have a holiday home in 10 cities in the world. You know, it starts to get really elaborate. And, you know, those sorts of dreams, you know, the ones that are really big right now might seem like unrealistic. Like 100 goals that you kind of think is possible is really tough. What it did for me, I think I've explained this before, is my goals started to then become the goals I wanted to achieve with other people. So it would be, you know, to have a certain amount of funded traders that I've helped, or to have a group of us managing a certain amount of funded money, which is one of my goals. But that's only going to happen by us all working together. You know what I mean? And that was like, wow, okay, that's not even directly to help me, it's to help others. And goals for other people is where my list went, which I thought was quite the exercise. But, you know, just keep going through yours. I review my goals every week, so just to make sure that the 10s are 10s, cross off anything that I've been able to achieve. And if there's something that I wrote initially that just was like, you know, not even near being realistic, now is becoming more realistic. Like, one of my goals is to have a Tesla. You know, it's not a cheap car. The car I want isn't cheap. And when I wrote the goal, yeah, I really wanted it, but I didn't really believe it to start with. Now it's getting closer. So it's now not a 3, it's like a 7. Do you know what I mean? So then that just grows your confidence in what you're doing, keeps you on track, keeps you grinding when the charts are testing you. It's a fabulous exercise, so keep going, keep going. All right, sweet. So I'm going to take hopefully not a painful, slow time doing it, but I'm going to, through step by step, and going over from A to Z how we enter a trade, because I don't know what I'm seeing. So some things I'm seeing in the group are great. Some things are different, and that's cool if they're different. If you do things differently to me, honestly, I do not mind. Just make sure that if you're doing different to me, you're doing them the same way every single time. Because remember, the only thing you can bring this from you is consistency. Like, you have to execute the plan consistently. So if you're entering and the market and the strategy hasn't given you the entries, then, you know, I don't know. So yeah, it's all cool. You can do what you like, but just make sure what you're doing is repetitive and you're journaling. So you can go back and see, well, my success rate is 80%. Sweet, don't change anything. But I'm going to show you exactly the way I found success using the scanner source, and we're going to go through it step by step. So let's get a cracking. All right, so you should all be able to see my screen. Okay, so I've talked to quite a few of you recently about your trading routine. Your trading routine is massively important because, again, it breeds consistency in what you're doing, but it also creates habits. So I've said this to a few of you, that habits are really, really vital, because when you're having a good day or a bad day, your like habitual nature kicks in. That's where the autopilot comes in. That's where you do things without thinking, like you tie your shoes, you drive to places like you've been to before, and it's just, I don't know how I got it. You know? And that's what we need to get into a position of when we're trading. It should be boring. It should be methodical. It shouldn't be based on emotion. And that's where the emotion then comes out of it. So every time I place a trade, I fill in one of these. Okay, I've sent this in the group. I was on my video last week. But this is like my checklist. Yeah, this also is transferable to my journal, which again I've shared. I can share it again. But this is where all the information from my trade, apart from my notes, which go into my journal, is held. Like all the data that I need to record. So I know if I'm filling this out, then I'm following my routine. I'll share it again, Rex, no worries. All right, so first step is we come to the Harmonic Scanner. Okay, Harmonic Scanner, you can access it, harmonics.im. There's a few other ways to access it. We've covered that a few times. Now, if you look at my checklist, here are my rules. So it's the hot Forex patterns, 1 hour charts, has to be with the trend, ideally a third hit. Our entry is on the 15-minute, and we use the scanner source for entry. So we're on the Harmonic Scanner, price feeds, hot Forex, not any of the others, hot Forex, 1 hour chart. Cool. These are all our patterns. And from the top down, the top of the most recent, bottom of the post away, when the scan was printed, and we work our way through. So I tested hot Forex, and he said he just uses hot Forex. I did a little bit of FX choice, and it was horrible. And I haven't touched the others. So feel free if you want to start collecting data on the others. I'm just saying what I do. Hot Forex only hot Forex. The reason for it, for anyone sort of wondering, from what I remember, what Manny says, is the different brokers have different like manipulation in the market. So imagine that there's a broker where the bank's really pushing the price around. When you're looking for it to hit a certain fib level, it can be very wicky, create a pattern, but it's not a valid pattern. So he likes hot Forex because it's less manipulated. It means the patterns are more robust, they're easier to trust. Okay, so that's why it's hot Forex. That's why I tested it, was really happy with the results, and I haven't really changed it. Why would you? Okay, cool. So we then pick our pattern. So this, we're basically looking for the pair to trade. All right, you can see at the moment, I haven't loaded my indicators on here. I don't actually use, I'm just looking for the scanner pattern and are we with the trend? this point. So NJ, first thing I do is zoom out. Okay, if I can't zoom out far enough, then I'll, up on the top left, I'll select the 4 hour. That doesn't change the pattern to a 4 hour pattern. It changes the time frame of this chart. So now I've got a clearer view. This was an uptrend, now been broken. Yeah, this was a significant low in the uptrend, which has now been taken out. So everything at the moment looks pretty cushy, looks good. However, this is not an established trend. Yeah, I don't want to take a punt on a first hit. Still, this looks like, again, a little bit like after the peak, it looks a little bit like it's in a range, in like consolidation. So you can see from here it made a high, then immediately made a new low, and now is in that range. So that could be consolidating. This could be a huge market correction. It could then drop, what we would want. Selling. I'm looking for this to drop, break, take some lows out, swing back another couple of times, and we'll be getting in down here. So I can see that within minutes. No, seconds. Zooming out. Got right, the last trend was up. The trend line's been broken. The low's been taken. Everything looks happy, but it's not my trade. Okay, I will then put a note, NJ looking bearish. Happy days. Next, USD CAD. Hour, back on the hour. We haven't changed it up here, but on the hour chart. You zoom out. Okay, again, you can't really tell that much. So this is why sometimes I jump to the 4 hour. So I'm not doing 4 hour patterns. I just need to see more of the chart. Okay, cool. What have we, well, there's something like this going on. So this looks like NJ in reverse, in my opinion. And we've got these highs that have been taken. So that high has now gone. With this spike. And it's calling a buy. So interesting. This one's interesting. So we're just trying to find the trend line. So that if the D point's here, no, it's not the neatest, really. You want it off that. Like it's broken. Again, not perfect. It's not neat. You've got like, if I line it up with these two hits and then pull it out, you've got sloppy there. Then real, like it's real sloppy there. So this looks like a little punt on the previous high. Swing underneath and a big old drop. This looks like a big market correction. Who knows? But it's definitely not what I want to trade. But point of origin, I wouldn't call that the first hit because it hasn't gone and made a new high. It's the first hit after this. So the trend line's really in here. It was going up nicely, broke, retest underneath. Yeah, I don't like that. I want an established trend. Rex in UCAD. Okay. So, what for the buy?
Yep.
You bought it. Okay, cool. So, did you think it was a third hit? What was the setup?
I suppose it was the market structure. I don't think I pulled it all the way back to the 4 hour to see like the massive downtrend, and then it sort of started to pull up. I just saw that we started making some higher highs.
Yeah.
Harmonic sort of, you know, it's almost like an equal low.
Over here, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought, you know what, let me take it. I don't know if it's going to create another higher high, to be honest with you. So I'm comfortable with at least, I think I've gone for TP1 and TP2. Because as I say, patience is not a virtue of mine right now. So that's good enough for me, especially just to, you know what I mean, pass the funding talent challenge. Well, it doesn't exist anymore, but, you know, at least to get that 8%.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, like I was saying sort of at the top, as long as you're doing things consistently, you know, that's all you can bring. I only want to trade if that was above the trend, this new trend line, I would be more interested, because this could be like a stop on the trend line. But because it's broken and now like trading underneath, it's just not, I don't like it. Like all of this
Yeah,
too.
no, I get you on that one. Yeah, I see you mean.
Get that. Like all this here as well is like quite consolidated. Yeah. Okay, cool. All I would say, Rex, is like there's no wrong or right. I could go and fly up and hit your profit. I would just make notes about it. Like just make sure that your notes are like really thorough. Like this is why I entered. Like this is the structure I liked. I do see there's like a, you know, like a very clear reversal point in the market here. So I get that.
Yeah, I think I've been noticing, like, I've taken a couple. So two things. So I've taken a couple entries when it's been equal lows and then gone for the reversal. I've done that. And also I've learned about quarter theory. And then I've sort of applied, used that as an additional confirmation for entries. And on two, I think there's been like GBP, JPY, and then a UCAD trade, which have both sort of just touched and shot the other way. So I suppose I'm in the middle of testing this concept, but so far so good. And I'm not about to turn a winning trade into a losing trade. So for me, profit is profit at this point.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, mate. Thanks for that. Okay, sweet. So let's go down to GU. So we've got NFP Friday. So the USD pairs might be giving us some indication of where they want to move. Again, so on the 1 hour, it looks kind of bearish. Got something like this going on. Then it gets like here, it just moves away outside the trend line. Was the worst thing. Okay, let's have a look on the 4. So this going through the pairs doesn't take me long. Like no, yes. I want to get the one I like. There might not be one today, but I'll try and make one up if there is, and I'll show you the whole process. Yeah, so again, to me, the major trends like here. So it's like broken underneath, retested. So this looks more bearish now than bullish. And it is calling a sell. A little look. At this point, if I'm like, oh, I'm not sure about the trend, it looks like I've said, it's broken the trend line, come underneath, and now making some new lows in the market and new lower lows, lower highs even. I'll go to trading view. Here's one I prepared earlier. I think I did some training on this the other day. All right, so I've got my trend line, and here it all goes sky. So it's a big correction. Come on there. Kind of see that flag, or a big flag. So I'm just trying to work out why it broke the trend line. It's not always the worst thing. Remember, a trend can be lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. It could be fib levels, and it could be off a trend line. So the fact it hasn't gone and broken this high, it's still in a downtrend. The only thing, but then it's taking the lows. So the only thing I was slightly sort of conscious of was this area, where it pulled back, and then this low didn't take out this low. It had one go, flag correction, break, had a break, had an attempt, didn't break it, and we had like a triangle going on there, which then broke hard, and then took out the low. So now I'm a lot happier that that structure's there, and that was pulling back into a really nice area. So, all right. So back to my checklist. We've got the pair, got GBP USD. What pattern was it? I don't do this on the computer, I actually write it. Arc. I'm happy that it's a downtrend. Okay. Market structure we got. I'm on the 1 hour. I want this place here where the market says it's going to turn around. All right, that looks. Yeah. Right, so the market's going to turn around here. I want this area to be PRZ zone, price reversal zone, definitely. So seeing here these candles, you've got the bodies and the wicks. So from the body, that's the bottom of my box. So I've just selected rectangle on the left, up to the wick. Okay, that determines the box. Then, if you just come to the left-hand side of it here, when you've got the left and right arrow, click and drag. So look at that. That is in quite a good spot. So there's a floor, it breaks, which is showing that it wants to reverse off this area. It got a bit wicky. Comes through. This is then another correction that I was talking about. So you've got, like guys, you've got to really know your corrections. It does help. See, it's like squeezing. It's running out of room. It's running out of room. Which way is it going to go? Bang! And then it breaks the low, breaks the structure. It's now swinging back underneath. It's already touched the structure once, and again, this is a lovely, lovely area. So I don't know where the scanner pattern is. I think it's in here. So look. I've normally got like music on when I'm trading, like some chill stuff or whatever. That was on the 4th of October at 3. Right, bang. So the scanner pattern's in here. It's kind of small. So I would want to see a little bit more of what's going on from like, so look, from like here. So where it impulse down and broke, what fib level are we at? Okay, we're on the 786. Not too bad. We've got a nice pullback. Let's have a look from up here. The last swing high. And we've got, it's near the 50%. So if that was like body to body, we might have a 50%. And then the sharp, normally 2 extensions, 116 and a 186. So it's basically saying the market is overextended. This is not a 1 hour pattern, but that X to A should be a lot more candles. I guarantee this is a 15 minute. No. Well, I want to see if this X, I want the pattern to be bigger. It should be, if the bigger the distance of candles is covered in the pattern, the better. But let's keep going. All right, so we've got a 786. We've kind of got an extension level in here, which looks kind of nice. This impulse down is extended beyond it, where it is. Yeah, look, that is, I can't make that up. That is pretty nice. That's the 1618 and the 786. So I'll just move my box up to that. Really close. Yeah, that gives some lovely structure. So I do like that a lot. Under the trend, We've got some great fibs. So let me get back to my thing. Structure. Yeah, so we've got a PRZ. Fib levels, let me just jump for that one. So we've got a 786 and a 1618. Oh, my foot. Okay. Do we have divergence? Right, let's have a look. So we're on the hour. I'm looking from like anywhere in here to where we are now. So I can already see it. So from here to here, we do not have divergence. Yeah. Market is below and the AO is pointing down. But what's going on here? Market going up, staircasing up, and on the AO, it's doing the exact opposite. Call that what you want. Exaggerated divergence, hidden divergence, doesn't really matter, but it is divergence. Got a lovely bit of structure here that's about to break. You want that little trend line to break, because this will be a correction. If it's in a downtrend, this pullback's a correction. So we're just trying to give ourselves as many reasons as possible to trade it. So right, let's not get distracted. I do that quite easily. Divergence. So we've got exaggerated, or you can just put yes. I can obviously spell. As the DC channel hit entry, so the hour DC channel, let me tidy this up. As hit entry, yeah, DC channel was touched at entry. Yes. Now it tells me drop down to the 15 minutes. So we've been the line, we've scoped, we found the gazelle, and now we're looking to pounce. So we're on the 15 minute, we're getting ready. Okay, I think we've missed it. Standard. Okay, so step one is we're looking for the confirmation candle. Confirmation candle. Confirmation candle when we're selling, flat top, the body of the candle closing below the 4 McGinley. And then we need our AO red, we need our red on top of the blue on the stotch, we need our red on top of the blue on the DMI, and the ADX above 40. That is our confirmation candle, that is our entry. So let me get a vertical line. Right, so that, I'll do it to the left. This candle, right, the candle exactly after the blue line, that's the first time it was a flat top, cutting through the 4, close underneath. We had a red bar, the AO. We didn't have the red above the blue, and the DMI wasn't there. So that isn't it. So we just wait, pull back, bang, get another one. Bosh. We've got a red bar. We've got the red on top. We've got the DMI getting funky. It's switched over, but the ADX is the control bar. Are the sellers in control? They're not. They're not yet. Okay. Next. This thing's annoying. Okay. This one. Same again. Red, red. Okay, we've got the red on top and we've got the ADX climbing. Okay, we're getting closer. This is where the patience comes in. Many times I've been like, oh, it looks good enough, I'm in. I'm going in. You've got to wait. I've been burnt. Okay, next one. Okay, it's underneath the 4. We've got red, red. Oh. Who would have gone? Who would have pulled the trigger? Luke? Oh, right, so that is where it closed. 37.82, roughly. Nah, good boy. Nah, Luke's not getting scummered by that. Definitely not. Cool. Right, the next one. Flat top. Is that flat top? It is below the 4, which is cool. We have a red bar. We have red on top. We have red on top. And hallelujah, this is our confirmation candle. So I always mark this candle up with like a little box. Try and get it as accurate as possible. I do the candle opening and the wick. I color it in a different color. We're selling, so I do it red. This is my entry candle zone. He calls it an ECZ, which is fun to try and pronounce. But this is our entry candle zone. So it is now floating around the bottom of the entry candle zone. So this is still safe to take. This is safe to take. So the market is in the red one. So this is the candle price, which is the average, and it's at 273. So 273. Oh no, it's up there. 2. All right, so I'd get it above the structure. And now the scanner pattern is like here. This is in a downtrend. This has got to take all of this. Yeah, the equal low. So that's a 1 to 8. I don't normally trade at this time of night, and it is NFP week. So definitely don't. I'm going to go in. I'm going to trade. Who's going to trade? I'm going to go in super low risk. We've got 27 pips. Yeah. All right. I'm working out my risk. So I'm now going on my app to get my lot size. So what we GU, GBP USD. We've got 20. I've got 27 pips. Yeah. Yeah. Super low risk. Literally super, super low. Right. GU's got wicked spreads. So I'm putting in my lot size. I've hit sell already. I'm in. Right, the price I got was 136,271. Means my stop loss is 27.4 pips. Well, I put 27 pips, so I'm there or thereabouts. So I then put that price into my phone, which I'm going to do right away. 136,544. A TP is down here, 214 pips. So I'll copy that into my phone. So 134,125. Bosh. Right, put the phone away. Done. So that was kind of fun. So let's follow through the process. So we've got confirmation candle, yes. AO, yes. Watch, yes. DMI, we waited. Calculated our lot size, yeah. Entry 1, technically it's the first entry, so we're in. And I put the risk reward. 1 to 7.83. I'll just put 7.83. Done. If I was going to wait for the second or third entry, I'd just waiting, watching for the 4 and the 20 to cross, and then the 4 and the 50 to cross, and then I'm back to the hour. So there is one additional step, which is just, it just gives me a visual, visually, which is, so we're against this pullback at our target. So I do like to do this. So I draw my fibs backwards, and then I get the horizontal ray, which you can get in here, horizontal ray, and I just put them on TP1, which is 38.2. Get it again, put it on the 618. I do it again at the 100%. And then I do it again at the 127. Right, and then my target. So say say I wake up tomorrow, something crazy's happened and it's gone bang, and it's down here. Then I'll move my stop loss into profit, and I'll be taking a decision whether to let it hit 127. If these all triggered in front of my eyes, the second entry, the third entry, looks like the second entry is triggering. I know we need that 450 to cross, and then it's a close underneath. Yeah, so the 450 to cross, then it's a close, which is looking like it's going to happen soon. Then I'd aim second entry, I aim for the TP3. And then the third entry, when the 4 and the 50 cross, I'm aiming for the extension, because the risk reward gets worse. The lower down you enter, obviously. And the stop loss, I'll just keep it either above the structure, or if it just falls away, then I'll have it just above the high. So it's kind of close. But I just don't want to risk my stop loss being too tight and greedy, and it just getting or it drops. So I'll be looking for like a TP1 to be hit, all these lows in here. So this area is quite key. It's got a big area. I'll warm it. That's on the 15 minute. Yeah, so I want that low to be taken. Really. Okay, this area is probably more important. You see that it plays off that low. So I'd like it to stay, I'd like it to break that level. By the time it gets to TP1, I'll be at break even at that point. I try not to just strangle it and bring my TPs lower until it gets lower. That's kind of your own to manage. I haven't got like a set rule, it's like more of a feeling. And yeah, then I'll jump into my, I'll do it after the call though. I'll jump into my journal, and I'll be entering all this information. So in my journal, literally, I'll be saying, went through this on our training call, went through it step by step, found a setup that looked good. It was with the trend. I would make notes on the fact that the trend got sloppy on the second hit, and the third hit has kind of happened. So we're a bit late, but we're at a good place in the market. Divergence was present. I'll be putting things in there like I was aware that it's NFP on Friday and we're trading USD. I played a low risk. Also aware that it's 2045. So I don't normally trade at this time. But the strategy fired. The strategy lined up, strategy fired. Now, I'm doing this on my funded account. Especially if you're practicing, that should be how calm you are. Like you just go through the strategy, bam, bam, bang, it lines up, boom, 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 we're in. If you're feeling nervous, then just lower the risk. Just for the sake of just trading and entering, just risk 100 quid or risk £1. It doesn't matter. It's the mechanics of entering the trade the same way every time. So, like, you know, when I was going through the earlier patterns, I'm like, nah, don't like it. Don't like it. But NJ could be beautiful in a couple of weeks. But right now, nah. GA. Like GA, I kind of like, but now, yeah, I will in a sec, Clay. So GA is cool. I'm already in a trade, so I'll pretty much be done by now. I kind of find one and go with it. So it looks like it's in a new uptrend. So all these highs have been taken out. So that looks kind of nice. It's at a lovely area. That was. You see it broke. See it broke this level here, this resistance. Broke through and then retested off it. Boom. Again, the only thing I get kind of, I love structure. Like structure is king. So the fact that this retested Bosch but didn't go and make a new high makes me not want to trade it. You see where GU, which did the exact opposite, it was struggling to make a new low. Remember we went through that? So it came down to this low, this push here broke all these lows. This push down, lovely new low. Then after that, it's wild for it to break. But it broke and swing back up, it's swinging back underneath. That's why I like it. It's because the last impulse and pullback created a new low. So GA, the last impulse and pullback hasn't created a new high. So I don't like it. EN. This is what I do in my life. EN. Just go through pattern. That looks horrifically consolidated. A bit further. Just looks like it's been going sideways since like February, March. Nope. That pattern. So that's pretty much it. Like by the time I'm in one and it's major and it's this time of night, like, I would go through all of them and just like look at the pairs and like, especially the ones that have gone, EU has gone and hit TP3 and beyond. So I'll just go, oh, all right, let's see, would I have traded it? Does it line up with my strategy? Where it's making new lows, swings back up to like a resistance area. So even if if a trade's not there, for me right now, I'll just go back and just do some practice. Like, would I have taken this? Well, that's lovely structure. Bang, underneath, touch underneath at entry. Whew. That's lovely. I'm not going to go through the whole thing now, but that looks nice. I would look further back. See, am I in the right area? Kind of, again, kind of sideways. I want this low to be broken, which it has been now by that low. So again, it looks like a first hit to me. So I probably wouldn't have taken it. Nice to see. Again, EN is now in a downtrend. And we've got one hit, two hits. So let's swing back underneath, please, and give us the third. Again, I'm like, right, I can plot for the future. EU. Let me go back to GU. So GU. How did I do TP level? So I'm on the hour. Okay. The scanner was giving me TPs, but on a very small pattern, just this low. Really, the market structure, the low is here. So my trade is to go and take out this low. So we use our fibs. Yeah. And because we're looking for like how far back against this pullback it's going, we go from low to high. Okay. Then we have TP1 is the 38.2. TP2 is the 618. TP3 for me is the 100%. And then TP4 is the 127 extension. Alrighty. Fibs they are my absolute love now. I love them. But before I used to like, what do I do? Am I going for the bottom or top? To get really confused about which way around to click the buttons. But now I'm like, if I do it the other way around, like if I go from top to bottom, 38.2 and the 618 are just flipped. So as long as you mark the 618 and the 38.2, you can't really go wrong. Can't really go wrong. But my rule of thumb is if I'm looking at a TP, up here is 0%. So this is 23% of the move, 38% of the move, 61.8% of the move. What would determine your entries. Yeah, the McGinley crosses. Yeah, that's it, mate. On the 15-minute, if it's crossing on the 4 and 50 and the sorry, the 4 and 20, 4 and 50. That's it.
Well, that's only 2 additional entries, but you've got 4 TPs.
Yeah, so I only enter thrice. So entry 1 is the TP3. Entry 2 is the TP3. And entry 3 is the TP4.
Ah, so you've twin traded for TP1 and 2?
Yeah.
Got it.
No. Sorry, twin traded for entry 1 and 2.
Yes, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, so I just use TP1 and 2 as like a gauge, like as just is the trade going in my direction. So I'll put an alert on TP1. So when it hits it, I'll be like thinking it's moved to break even.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I'll just see it as like a gauge, really.
Love it. You have just also closed another loop that I needed. Cheers, mate.
No worries. I'm here a week. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So I really wanted to go through that slowly and kind of methodically and kind of, that is exactly how I trade. That's exactly it. Nothing more fancy than that. And if this goes to lose, well, it's the one that's meant to lose. It's the one that is meant to lose. It's a scanner pattern, so we're in a good chance of it being right. The way the scanner works is if the scan is invalid, so it goes to hit stop loss, it will delete, which is what Manny's new system isn't going to do, which is going to be good, but who knows when that's going to be released. That once it's out, it took me, Rex, you might remember, I remember I sent you pictures of like, look, I'm testing something. It took me months. And I think I've finally got it. And it was like, you called me the nutty professor.
Mate, you're methodical. You're militant.
It's just like, boom, boom, boom. Is it all lining up? Let's go. Like this took me months to figure out that it worked. So when the new scanner comes out, it's not like, for me, I won't be using it on my funded. I'll be using it on a demo for like at least 3 months. Like I'm not going to risk my income for a scanner that I don't know if it works or not. You know, it should work. It has to work. You know what I mean? Cool. Right. Any questions? Mics are free. Open up. Ask away. Anything you want me to go over again? I'm going to send the journal in our little group. So let me do that. Blank. Where's the blank journal? Oh, blank. That's it. Right, that's in our group. That's it. All done. All done and dusted. So if there's no further questions, please use the group. The group's becoming more and more active, which I love to see. Keep talking about your trading, your stuff, but whatever you do, just trade the same way every single time. Like every single time you trade, follow the strategy, follow the routine. You know, if you are doing something different, again, I'm not precious, it's all cool, but my tip would be to make sure that you're doing it the same way every single time. We got a nice little drop on GU, which is cool. And yeah, let's see how it goes. And we'll be back next week. So thanks again for joining us tonight, and peace and love.
Thank you, Chris.
Anytime.